Hi everyone, I'm Kate. Let's get straight into this video. Now, if you're a family, you've got kids of any age, and you have an issue with dirty white socks or greying white towels, flannels, you might have makeup pads, reusable makeup pads that again are hard to get clean, hard to get back to white, or the common school white tops that get very yellow around the collars, or that yellowing discoloration under the armpits from sunscreen or deodorant. It's very, very common, and I'm sure a lot of us are searching online to find out, well, what is the best product that I can use to get my whites back to being white. A lot of the examples of products being used were things in the pantry or things that you might have at home, including some of these: shaving cream, baking soda, washing liquid, denture tablets, lemon juice, toothpaste even, and salt. And then obviously your store-bought whitening products. But everyone had an opinion on what worked best. So I thought I would just do a little comparison review and make up some of these concoctions myself, and yeah, just see what the outcome was. So let's get into this. So let's talk about some of these products here and why they can be so wonderful when we're using them in our homes, in our laundry. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is vinegar, but actually lemon juice and, would you believe it, aspirin actually comes into this group of items that we have at home as well. So these are all acids, and aspirin, which someone suggested in a comment as being a great way to whiten whites or get stains out of whites. They are all in the family of acids. They're great at breaking down soap scum and mineral buildup and hard water stains. They are good on stains like coffee and tea and fruit juice and wine and beer. They're also very effective for mold and mildew, for decreasing that, and just generally great at eliminating odours. But they don't as such bleach anything, vinegar especially, but they can certainly brighten the white of something that is already white. Lemon juice, though, can have a bleaching effect, but quite minimal. So lemon juice is actually citric acid, vinegar is acetic acid, and then aspirin, which someone had suggested as using for stains, breaks down to something called salicylic acid. So those three things we put in the same classification. The next things that were suggested as great, for cleaning your whites were good old liquid dish soap and also shaving cream, someone suggested. These two I put into the same classification, and the reason why is that they both work great on oil stains because they're soap, so they help to break down oil stains, foundation, anything like that, makeup. But shaving cream essentially is going to work the same as a dish soap, degreaser basically. So that's why people have found that it helps with just generally getting dirt off white clothes. Just acts like a general degreasing cleaner. Good old baking soda. Now this is when you look chemically at this is an alkali, so it actually works great on more acidic stains to break them down. So we're talking possibly about coffee or blood. Baking soda is a great odour neutralizer, and it's quite often put into other cleaning, laundry cleaning products. It helps laundry detergent to work better, and it acts great as a like a softening substance. It helps your laundry detergent to be more effective. Now, baking soda is not going to bleach any colours, but it can brighten clothes, or brighten colours and brighten whiteness. And then we're on to this next group of products, and a lot of people in those comments or threads of how to get your whites whiter named these products. And it's interesting because actually these whitening products that you can get from the supermarket, denture cleaning tablets, hydrogen peroxide, which is straight, and toothpaste actually all have a component that is very similar or the same in them. So what you'll actually find if you look at the ingredients on these products is that it's something called sodium percarbonate, and you will find sodium percarbonate in denture cleaning products. You'll find them in toothpastes as the whitening effect in toothpaste. And interestingly, hydrogen peroxide is actually the much more broken down product of sodium percarbonate. So these products here, people are finding that they help, to whiten their whites, because effectively they are the same chemical, just named differently as a different brand. Someone also suggested salt as a component of helping to get their whites white. And the reason why salt can be effective is it is naturally deodorizing. It can help brighten whites. It doesn't act as a bleaching agent, but it can brighten white. It's naturally antibacterial, and it's great at breaking down grease. It can help to get rid of mold and mildew, and it is also great at restoring colours, and it can reduce yellowing of whites. So that potentially is a great little product to use in your laundry as well that you might not have thought about. One thing to say about vinegar and using any of these products, or any other products actually, especially if you're buying more chemical based ones from the supermarket, is you need to be very careful with what you're mixing vinegar with. Vinegar and these products that have sodium percarbonate in them or hydrogen peroxide, they don't mix well together. They can give off a toxic gas, when they are mixed together, that can be not so great to breathe in. So you do need to be careful about that. So what I decided to do for my comparison review was to have the base of these products all the same, and then to test out the different whitening components, and at the end see which one actually did the best job at cleaning the dirt off dirty socks, generally whitening the socks and the strips of fabric that I had, grey fabric. And I also included a reusable makeup pad into each of these bowls as well, which had foundation and just mascara, general makeup on them really. So the base that I've used with these is I first of all made up a paste of dish liquid as my degreasing component, and then baking soda for odour neutralising and just general brightening of the fabrics. And then I've got 5 different bowls here. So applied the paste of these 2 first and gave a good scrub with the toothbrush.
Here you can see the colour of the socks and flannel strips against the perfect white background that they are laying on. The flannel strips are so grey, but originally the flannel was actually white. So this mixture I'm scrubbing onto only 4 out of the 5 sock, makeup pad, flannel strip combinations, and I'll tell you why in a minute. It is hopefully going to soften and break down the dirt and makeup stains on the fabrics, generally brighten the whiteness and deodorize, but this paste is not going to whiten or bleach in any way. Here are the 4 out of the 5 fabric combinations that have had the dish liquid and baking soda paste scrubbed into them. This 4th fabric group, I am now going to apply the whitening agent, which is toothpaste, as it is a paste rather than a soaking liquid like the other whitening agents. This was one of the homemade whitening solutions a mum suggested as working for her socks. So I thought we would give this one a go. The blue colour is a bit of a distraction, I know, but it will all wash out once it goes in the final wash. This 5th and final combination, I'm actually going to use it as a comparison of store-bought laundry stain and whitening products against the homemade whitening remedies. So I haven't put any of the dish liquid baking soda paste onto these fabrics. I'm applying store-bought stain remover, which has its own degreasing, softening and brightening agents in it. All of these pastes are now going to sit on the fabric for a good 2 hours at least to work their magic.
And then put them in the bowl. I added a cup or just over a cup of boiling water, and they've been sitting in that overnight. And then the whitening agents that I have used are the Oxy Active, which is the general, you might find it as nappy sand. Sodium bicarbonate is the main ingredient. And then one of these has also got denture tablets in it. Hydrogen peroxide straight is also in one of these. Lemon juice, because we know that that can act as a sort of minimal bleaching agent, so we've used that. And then on one of these I scrubbed on some toothpaste as well as the whitening agent. Now, I was going to put vinegar as the general background soaking liquid into all of these as well, but I decided against that because obviously, the gases that can come off these can be toxic when you're mixing vinegar with some of these other products. So I just wanted to avoid that. So these have all been sitting in their solutions for a good 16 hours now. I'm going to pop them all individually into a hot wash with just some normal laundry detergent that I've got at home that I just generally would put a wash load on with, and we'll see what the outcome is as to which homemade solution actually has ended up being the most effective cleaner, whitener and brightener of these whites. So here is the end result. Overall, I feel like there's a big improvement across all of the different groups. The flannel cutouts are all looking very grey still though, and I feel like because they were meant to be pure white right from the beginning, they don't have any other colouring on them. Probably you would just need to actually get some proper bleach onto them if you wanted to bring them back to their original whiteness. And overall, if you compare each of the makeup pads to how they were originally looking, this is an example here, if you just minus the lipstick because there wasn't so much of that on the other pads, but as a comparison, you can see that they're all looking much brighter. So that was a good outcome. So this one here was always going to be my comparison because I used shop bought whiteners. So we've got a Oxygen Clean, it's almost like an Episan product, and then a supermarket bought stain remover. So these were all pre-treated with the stain remover, and that sat there for a good couple of hours with that on there, and then it's soaked in the sodium bicarbonate, which is what essentially this product is. And as you can see, overall the sock has come up really quite bright and vibrantly white, and the makeup pad in comparison to the rest of them again is quite vibrantly white. So this was an expected outcome, I think. Moving on to the denture tablets, I feel like this is the next option that worked the best in comparison to the other ones. So overall the sock is quite white, the makeup pad has improved a lot. Obviously the flannel is still very grey, but if you look at the components of these denture tablets, they also say that they have active oxygen, and one of the ingredients is sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda, and then sodium carbonate peroxide, which is similar to what is in this. It's an active whitener. Moving on to this one here, the lemon juice. This one actually surprised me quite a lot. The sock is quite vibrantly white, possibly even more so than this one. And the makeup pad, yeah, middle of the range, not quite as good as this one, I don't feel, but again, better to what it was when it first went in. So these four were all pre-treated with the dish soap and baking soda paste, and then this one soaked in half a cup of lemon juice along with the water. This one here was the hydrogen peroxide, 3%. You can get a higher percentage of the hydrogen peroxide, even up to 6%. This one did surprise me that it didn't do better, because actually this hydrogen peroxide is the much more broken down form of sodium percarbonate. So I thought this would have been a better outcome, and in fact it's made this sock go quite yellowish, sort of brownish tinge in some of these areas, which surprised me. The makeup pad is quite good overall. And then our last one was the toothpaste, which I think did a pretty good job in getting the sock white, but it hasn't done a huge amount of whitening to the makeup pad. But generally the makeup pad is a lot cleaner than what it was when we first started. So overall, I think the winner of these four products here was the denture cleaning tablets. But at the end of the day, all of the suggestions that were put online as being great for whitening, they obviously do something, otherwise they wouldn't have been put up as suggestions, by the people that use them. So this hopefully just gives a little bit of insight into what you could use as a whitener if you didn't have something like a shop bought product, and maybe just give it a try and see how it works for you. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in my next video.